Hey guys, hey friends, how are you? Okay, so it is Wednesday and is my Wellness Wednesday, as I promised you guys that I'm going to be coming live all summer, even though sometimes I don't want to do them either, right? No, I'm just kidding. I love what I do. So I am waiting for actually Facebook to actually catch up. There we go. Okay, I'm on. So you guys have questions, ask them to me. I know it's a beautiful day, and I know a lot of people actually just finished school today, so congratulations. It's a big deal. I actually have 2 high school students, and I'm very excited. So here we go. This week I really want to talk about, as I sent you guys all today, talking about chemical exposure, okay? So I talk a lot about it from the, obviously, cleaning, detoxifying your house, but I want to talk to you about it as far as using it in your for your body, okay? Obviously our skin is our largest organ on our body, so we need to make sure that we are putting good things onto it. So when we put a lot of chemicals onto our body, there is a study that was done that said the average woman puts 300 chemicals on her body 80 before breakfast. So like, yeah, I'll just let you sit with that for a second, because I know that's crazy. Okay, crazy. Let me just put a little oils on, settle myself. It's been a crazy day. So when you think about that, you're like, well, that's ridiculous. Like, that doesn't happen. But if you think about your shampoos, your conditioners, your deodorants, your people who wear makeup, all different types of makeup, right? Every different one, the hand soap that you use, the lotion that you use after your hand soap, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so all of these things are things that we're actually going into our body. What happens, and I've made this reference before, my friend Jen said it, is our bodies when we're born are like a funnel, right? So we're putting stuff on them and in them, and we're able to process, our liver can do it, everything's working, we're cleaning ourselves out. But what ends up happening a lot of times is we get too much as we get older, right? We just keep on putting stuff on and putting stuff on. And if a lot of our products that we're using and putting in our skin are filled with toxins, like what I was referring to before, then we get this thing called bioaccumulation, which basically means like your body's in toxic overload, okay? You're trying to, it just keeps on putting stuff in, but like you get this, the funnel all of a sudden starts to slow down, and then starts to bubble back up. And that's usually when illness, you don't feel good, lethargic, could be anything. You could actually develop some sort of like chronic disease. You could have inflammation, you could have weight gain, you name it, whatever it comes from. Okay, this is just what happens to us. And it's usually kind of between 35 and 45 for women. Is when they start to notice something, their bodies feel different. Now, it doesn't have to be like that, okay? Yes, our bodies are aging, but there's no reason why we have to be in that state. So I just want to share a couple statistics for you. So this is true for whether or not I'm talking about what you're cleaning your house with or what you're putting on your body, okay? A child born in America today, in the United States today, is exposed to more chemicals in this generation than any ever born in history. More than 500 chemicals on average are found in the American home. The average woman uses 12 personal care products a day, okay, containing 186 different chemicals. Everyone alive carries within their bodies at least 700 chemicals, most of which have not been well studied. A study published in 2008 reports that 90 to 95% of cancers, and I put this link in there before, are caused from environmental toxins, which leads to cancer, and not something that's hereditary or something that's like a genetic mutation. Hey, what's up, honey? So think about that. Whatever your, all these diseases are actually coming from things that are actually in our environment. Some things we can control and some things we can't, okay? I think, and then we're going to talk a little bit about fragrance in a few minutes, but it says the word fragrance is a catch-all word for 4,000 different ingredients, most of which are synthetic and ranging from mild irritants to full carcinogens, which are cancer-causing, More often than not, your normal aroma is a synthetic one created in a lab. So like we're talking about perfumes, I will tell you, full disclosure, I was a huge Coco Chanel person, Chanel number 5 for years and years and years. My mom wore it. It was the first thing I wore, and I wore it for years. And I still have my bottle because every time I used to travel, I would get one. But I have not put it on my body in years after reading all this research. So basically what ends up happening is you have short-term toxicities, including coughing, irritation, rash, wheezing, nausea, vomiting, irritation. So like if you've ever been to a doctor's office, or sometimes if you have allergies, they will say, please don't wear perfumes or deodorants. And this is for the very reason, right? Because it can agitate people. Did you know that up to 95% of the chemicals used to make artificial fragrances are derived from petroleum? okay, which is disgusting. And petroleum is so bad for us, right? So I can list off, I could go through this class. It's like one of my favorite classes. There are tons and tons of statistics, but I'm not going to bore you guys with all the details. But I want to talk about certain things like phthalates are endocrine disruptors, okay? And these are a lot of things that are found in just our common everyday products. Formaldehyde, which I think most of us actually know what it is a carcinogen, which we know, and it's actually established by the Cancer Institute. But it is actually found in some of our personal care products. Lead is actually found, even though it is illegal to have lead. They have still done massive testing on multiple different lipsticks, okay? And there is lead that's still being found. There is a great, there's a great movie that was called, oh my God, I'm totally blanking on the name of it. Oh, I should have written it down. All right, if anybody remembers who's on this call, you have to let me know what the name of the movie was. But Toxic Beauty. Sorry, it's super simple. It is really, really worth everyone actually taking some time to listen to it. It is talking, they have all different variation people from different grades of age, and they're talking about how the different chemicals that they believe they've used can actually have like disrupted from causing like some different cancers in their bodies to making them feel a certain way to some brain issues. It's a really, really interesting thing because it is not regulated at all. Okay, that's what you need to understand. So this just comes back to everything I say. You have to be an advocate for yourself. You need to flip over the box of things. You need to ask questions. You need to know that just because the bottle looks really pretty and says that it's organic or has a little green flower on it, that it may actually not be true. It could be packed with synthetics. Does it require a little extra time? Sure. But when you actually start to find products, okay, and that's why I'm so passionate about this business, because this company, this business like of Young Living, is because I know that all the products are plant-based and they're infused with essential oils, and I know they're healthy for me. And I can tell you this because the story that I told last week about my journey like to kicking asthma's butt is not just because I removed toxins from my house. It's because I removed toxins from everywhere. I removed them from what I was putting on my body and what surrounds me to the extent that I can do that, okay? So I want to highlight a couple of my favorite products that I use because we were talking about getting your like summer ready. So the two things I will say that we use majority of the summer are a sunscreen and bug spray. Okay. I live in a relatively urban area. I do not live deep in the forest. There are all sorts of studies about DEET, and people feel very passionately about it both ways. Here's the deal. If you are camping really remotely somewhere and you are deep in there and you do not want to get bit by mosquitoes, by all means, like it is totally up to you, but just understand there are side effects. You can look through all the chemicals that I've put in. I will actually put some articles in the comments below when I'm done talking about different things that will happen with the chemical reactions that people have had to DEET. But it is totally up to you if you want to do that. Again, I always feel like that's like the last thing to go to. It's just like saying I can have preventative care, and then if I need it, I will go get my asthma medication. So my suggestion is always to start with something that's plant-based. So okay, Young Living does make one. Yes, I know, crazy. As I said, they have 700 products. It is, and I want to show this to you guys, okay? So it is like an oil, just like what you would think about. You rub it on your skin, just like this. It smells amazing, okay? It has, it actually to me smells like citronella and a lot of lemongrass, which are two of the ingredients that are in here that are amazing for mosquitoes. But as you can see, like, it doesn't, like, it's not leaving anything on my skin. And the cool thing is you actually smell good. And here's the deal. If you fall asleep, like let's say you come home from someone's backyard barbecue and you fall asleep, the stuff's on you, you know that it's like really not that bad for your skin. Should you wipe, because it's actually being absorbed into your skin. It's not hurting you, as opposed to something where you feel like you need to remove it, okay? So, and it says DEET free on here. It's 100% plant-based as everything. It has citronella, lemongrass, geranium, rosemary, thyme, and has vitamin E actually in it as well. But here's the deal. This is also something you can make, right? If you have all the essential oils that fall into this category, I do make my own. I keep it by the back door so I can quickly spray before we go out and sit and have dinner. But I like this one because it's a little bit thicker. The cool thing is there are some essential oils by themselves, and I actually have done a video. You can go check it out on some of my other IGTV when I did a video about talking about bug spray that you can actually infuse into my second favorite thing that we need to talk about. Okay, so bug spray is huge. Try using something that's plant-based, okay? Also, grab your diffuser, grab your citronella that you got free this month, pop that sucker on your porch and diffuse while you're sitting outside, okay? It's just like your own personal citronella candle and doesn't have all the other garbage that's in it. Sunscreen. I am a huge huge sunscreen person. I have been for years. I was badly burned as a child. I am very, very fair. I wear sunscreen all year round, okay? And I do live in a New England environment, which means, but like, you're still going outside in the wintertime and you're still getting sun. So I always put sunscreen on my face and on my kind of like decollage area and my chest every time throughout the course of the winter. As the spring becomes in summer, where we are now, face, chest, everything, basically, like, think about yourself. Like, I prefer to do it with nothing on, just like everything waist up, I put it all over myself. I use Young Living's 50. Now, I will tell you why I really like this. I have used so many mineral-based sunscreens, okay? Now, there are a lot, and mineral-based sunscreens, I'll tell you, when my kids were younger, I have tried some of them that were like so goopy, and they came out and they were like this weird green color, and you had to like warm the bottle, and you get it on the kids, and you were like wiping down trying to scrape it onto the kids, and you were trying to, and they were like sticky, and if they were on the sand, literally, like, you like put it on them, and you could roll it in, and they become like a little tiny hot dog. Here is the Young Living one that I use, okay? I use this on my face. Okay, can you see that? I use it on my face. I use it on my arms. I use it on my chest, okay? I'm just showing you like quick little examples. It is completely rubbed in. You guys actually watched me do that. That was a chunk of sunscreen, okay? It works fantastic. Now, here's the deal with sunscreen that a lot of people want to know. Yes, I am very fair. If I was to get dressed in the morning and put on sunscreen and live my normal life of just kind of maybe going in my backyard and just kind of doing normal things, would I reapply it? No. Sunscreen has a life, guys. Usually it's like 90 minutes to 2 hours, depending on what you're doing. If you're sweating, if you live in a super hot environment where you're going in and out of the water, if I am going to the beach or I am at a pool where I'm in and out of the water, I put sunscreen on every 30 minutes, okay? It has nothing to do with whether or not the quality of the sunscreen is working. It has to do with you have to keep on putting it on, especially the fairer your skin is. So it's just kind of one of those realities. There is actually some really great hacks as well. Carrot seed oil is amazing for UV protection as well. So you can actually take this and turn it into a spray. I'm going to make a video about that, so you guys will stay tuned for that, which is super easy. So you take a whole tube of it, you could actually turn it into a spray, because that's nice as well. You have to reapply stuff, okay? I'm like, it's nothing I can do with it. So, and the zinc oxide in here is 10.5, okay? So I'm a huge fan of this. I know that I trust it. I know it works for me. I don't get burnt, right? Which is the long-term objective, excuse me. And I also know that it's plant-based and doesn't have a bunch of the garbage in it, right? So again, I'm not putting a lot of toxins in my body. These are two things that I'm using every single day throughout the course of the summer. And this one I use even more. So why would I want to use anything where I know that I'm putting toxin into my body, okay? So I can use it on my face, I can use it on my body, etc. My last couple things, okay, and I will share with you, I did make the I'm like, you can't even see it. I was talking to someone outside and I could feel it. I hadn't put sunscreen on again, burnt my shoulders, okay? This product, which is Lavaderm, I'm a huge, like, I use this thing all the time. So basically, it's just, you spray it onto where your burn is and it cools it down. It's a misting, a cooling spray. It has lavender, which is amazing for skin, okay? If you were to actually burn your skin while you were cooking on the oven, you actually can take lavender, put it directly on it. It takes away that sting that's going on and will actually help with the healing process, okay? It has, hold on a second, guys. I'm like, it has aloe vera in it, which is obviously very hydrating for northern, and helichrysum, which is what I was looking for. So helichrysum, again, is something that is known to be really, really beneficial for your skin and healing. I did a video talking about I sliced my finger open on a knife, cutting with an onion, and I actually poured a couple drops on, like I cleaned it, poured a couple drops on, and it healed within 24 hours. Like it actually sealed within 24 hours. So the amazing power of plants. So there are a couple oils in here, plus some aloe and some a little bit of like menthol that actually cools your skin. So if you do make the mistake, do I make this stuff DIY? Absolutely I do. But again, I save these bottles, I use them over and I'm a huge fan of it as opposed to things I've used before. Or take straight up like good old fashioned, good, not the green, okay? I don't want the green aloe vera, because if you actually have an aloe vera plant and you cut that sucker open, it is clear. So you want the good, just 100% aloe vera. You can take that and take a couple drops of your lavender and your helichrysum, put it in it, and put it on your body as well. Okay, this is just turning into a misting spray, all right? Now this is not really related to, I guess, like, well, it is personal care. Obviously, you're not putting this on before you go to the beach, but this is my Cellulite massage oil. I love this stuff. It is packed with grapefruit and cypress. Both of them are really good for detoxifying and to increasing blood flow. So it actually, you put that on the areas where you're feeling like a little fluffy and luffy. It smells really good. I put it on, it smells a lot like cypress, which I love. I put it on the areas that I'd like to kind of like flush out, and I just rub it in, massage it again. I was looking for one other thing. Nope, I just want to verify something. So I put this on all the time, and it helps to like break down, flush out, break down what's going on in your body, increase blood flow to the areas. And when you increase blood flow, then you increase circulation. And when you increase circulation, then you can help decrease everything else that's happening. Okay, so it's maybe a little less bumpy and fluffy. It starts to smooth out a little bit. Now on that, and just before I jump off, if you guys have questions, obviously ask me, but I use an oil throughout the course of the summer. I do use a Lotto in my water bottles. I do use a lot of essential oils. My kids are always saying to me, is that plain water or is it going to be like lime or what's going on in there? Because I do put a lot of them in my body because I think they're really good. But grapefruit is a really good detoxifier for your body. So if you are looking to help detoxify what's going on and also to help like maybe curb some cravings and things, you can actually drop it into your water and consume it throughout the course of the day. One, it will help you drink more water. Okay, I love grapefruit, so it helps you drink more water. Two, it will actually help to flush out and detoxify a lot of your cells, which is amazing. And then three, what was I gonna say? I'm like, detoxify? I'm like, I think now just two. I'm like, sorry guys, I'm a little spacey today. I had a graduate happen today. So happy days, but a little bit crazy. So I use this throughout the course of the summer all the time. I actually also put in here that I use frankincense a lot. I want it to take, the reason why I use frankincense a lot is to make sure that my skin stays healthy. The more frankincense I put on my body, the more that actually I have my skin just looks healthier and more vibrant and has a healthy glow, like I've referred to before. Oh, I know, it's such a bummer. I'm like, grapefruit, yeah, so some meds you cannot do grapefruit. And actually, that's a super important point. I really appreciate you bringing that up. There are some medications, again, make sure, this is very, very rare, guys, but it's always important to understand when you have prescriptions that you look to make sure they don't have any side effects. And sometimes they will say you can't do this, like just some people are on like blood thinners and they can't do a lot of greens, which is like so counterintuitive, but it's how it interacts with the medication. So please be careful with that. So thank you, honey, for sharing that. But everybody else who does not have that and actually likes the taste of it, it's really, really good for just detoxifying and cleaning yourself out. All right, so do you guys have any questions for me for this fabulous Wednesday? I like to try to keep these under 20 minutes because I know it can be a lot. People have a lot of stuff going on. This is one of my favorite classes. I created a whole script for it. It has lots of like scary deets in it, but it's important just to understand that there are solutions to problems. And I want you, again, there's an app called Think Dirty. I want you to download it into your phone. It is completely free. It will talk to you about when you can just scan, you can actually go into your cabinet, you can scan different things, come up with a barcode, and it will say to you, one of the biggest things, and I encourage everybody to actually do this, is to go and Google fragrance and see what people are saying about fragrance. People are starting to really, really worry about fragrance because, as I said before, there's so many different chemicals that can go into a fragrance, and it's proprietary. And the way that we do not control kind of like the companies. So if you think about, there are companies where you walk by their stores and they smell a certain way. We have no idea what has created that smell, nor do we have any idea what actually goes into the baseline of a perfume, right? So when we don't know what that is, it could be 5 chemicals, it could be 217 different chemicals that mix together to make it smell a certain way. And it's completely proprietary to the company, and they do not need to share it with you. Even if you called up and said, I want to know what the ingredients are, they do not have to share it with you because then someone would actually know the information. So with that, knowing the fact that there have been studies when they try to break some of the stuff down, and they're actually seeing that there are synthetics and there are a lot of chemicals in there that have been proven to have nasty side effects outside of just like feeling like allergies or feeling not great, and even like sometimes having like massive endocrine disruptors and cancer causing agents, as we talked about a little bit. So really start being your advocate for yourself. Like, the reason why I'm doing this is I want you guys to understand that you have to advocate for yourself. You have to ask questions, and you can't just believe that because a bottle looks pretty that it's actually going to work, or that someone says it. Like, a lot of places will say like organic skincare or organic this, and you know what, I I want there to be more places like this. I want there to be, Beauty Counter has done an amazing job advocating for creating cleaner products, okay? But Young Living is 100% on the same bandwagon. They have removed so many chemicals from their makeups and their products, and they never had any chemicals in them, but they're even removing even more from the makeups. So it's all plant-based, and it's so good. And remember that every time you put essential oils on your body, they're packed with antioxidants. And what do antioxidants do? They kill free radicals. And free radicals are the guys that run around in our body and cause illness and disease and fatigue and wrinkles from a vanity standpoint. So, all right, guys, I want you to have an amazing evening. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I will see you next Wednesday. And for everybody who is supposed to be at convention, I love you all, and I'm sorry I did not see you in person, but we will connect via Zoom as always. All right, guys, have an amazing night. Enjoy this beautiful weather, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.